Yes, a very good morning. I hope you are doing well. Thank you so very much for always following us on all our media platforms. For those of you who have subscribed, thank you so very much. For those of you who have taken time to share with your friends, thank you. Today we are into a global village. So many things are happening, and if you want to know that we are in a global village, you're going to understand that there is something that connects everyone. Today, when I talk about that connectivity point, I want to talk about food security. One of the things that you are going to understand that you must actually put in all your effort is food security. You know, in the nation, there are always two securities that they always emphasize and they always focus on. That is the security of the other army and ABCD, but also food. You know the reason why food is regarded as security? That means there is no anyone, no any nation that can stand with its people without food. Sometimes you're going to find that even if it is war, it can be a severe war, but you're going to find that at least they will spare some time and they say, hello, for those who are in battle, please cease fire for at least 2 days so that people can get number one, food, number two, water. That means by all means, if you are into the food circulation, you can never be poor. I want to promise you, you can never be poor. So today I want to talk about how you can start your farm. How do you set up your goals as far as farming is concerned? For those of you, if it's your first time maybe seeing me on this podcast, I'm Charles from Youth Platform Africa. Of course, we are the agribusiness partners, your fellow friends that always come on board to give you all the insights on how you're going to better yourself on a daily as far as agribusiness is concerned. And today, there are some key points like 3 or 5 that I want to share with you. Number one, you must define your farming goals. So many people I've met in different areas, they just do what we call copy and paste. What do I mean? If they see a neighbor, for example, is having some goats and they are doing very well, the next day, this very fellow will say, I'm also into goats farming. But you've not made a thorough research. This is not just a copy and paste kind of business. You are going to find out times you need also to have pasture. But because you saw pasture in my field, it doesn't mean you also go and do the same business. There are some things you must to consider. Number one, you must go and do what we call soil sampling. You may find that your soil pH is not the same as my soil pH. Then you go and copy and paste and you fail to achieve, then you say, my neighbor is bewitching me. It is not actually bewitching. You've not used your common sense. Things don't just happen. We need to be intentional in everything that we do. We need to be intentional. Are you intentional? When you say you are diving into farming, you must define your farming goals. Very, very important. You must define your farming goals. 4, what do I mean? Number 1, you must understand, are you going in for crops? Are you going in for livestock? No, are you going in for both? Because you must understand, you must have one route. The challenge you may find to so many people, they fail to discover their niche. They want to do A, B, C, up to Z. You cannot be everywhere. You must define yourself. Where is your niche? What do you want to do? That's why I'm asking, when you are defining your farming goals, are you going in for crops or livestock? You may find that at Youth Platform Africa, we decided to dive into livestock. We have a number of goats in thousands. When it comes to pasture, our fields are flourishing. But you are going to find that everything that we do, its center focal point is livestock. When we dive into maize farming project, our aim, we are still into livestock because we are not looking at the corn. The corn is just the byproduct. But what we are looking up to is this hay that we are going to get out of this maize. Define your farming goals. It's very, very important. Then the other thing that you must understand, are you going for commercial, or you are going for subsistence, or you are going for agritourism? Yeah, we have some friends of ours that are good at agritourism. It's also another business. You have your tortoise, you have your goats, you have your chicken, you have your cows, you have your babies. That people come and visit, they take pictures, then you go back. Agritourism. But when you combine all that, you must understand, you must define your farming goals, and they must be crystal clear. They must be crystal clear. It's going to help you fighting a lot of things. Then number 2, choose the right location. I'm going to have a number of these podcasts, but I'm starting right from the grassroots, because we must understand, how do you construct, how do you choose the fields, how do you get the breeds. We are going to get there, but before we get there, we must understand its initial stages. Is defining your farming goals. So, issue number 2, I come here to tell you that you must understand your location. So when I talk about the location, talk about the soil quality. Go and do what we call soil sampling. Sometimes so many people, they just want to wake up a day, they say, I'm going to do this and this and this. It is very okay to be optimistic. It's very okay to be ambitious. It's very okay to be aggressive. But sometimes you need also to plan. The Baganda have a saying, tebakutenda okudduka toyita wuwo. Ago amunanga amanyuka nodduka bagenda okusanga oli mu nyumba ya muliraano bose mu kitanda. Ate amanyi okudduka. So you could be aggressive, but let your aggressiveness be calculated. Let there be some checks and balances. So when you are choosing your location, you must consider your soil quality. Besides the soil quality, you must also consider the climate. How is the climate? Youth Platform Africa, when we are looking for the suitable climate that can accommodate our goats farming projects, we went as far as Gomba. That is Gomba district. We found there the very land that we wanted. The other thing you also need to put into account, water availability. Water availability. Even if you're going into crop, even if you're going into livestock, you must understand that water is key. So if you don't have these shallow wells, are you able to construct a dam in that location? Or there are some other fields where you can get water easily. If you cannot find water, please don't try, don't tamper. Even if somebody is giving you free land, Because as far as crop and livestock is concerned, you need water. My dear, you need water. If you don't have it physically, you might need to do maybe some shallow wells here and there so that you can pump them into your reservoirs. Maybe the climate that you can at least harvest enough water that can help you move through drought seasons. Availability of water. And also the last thing which you must also understand is market access. Market access. Some of you get frustrated after starting some few things here and there, and you may find yourself, you don't understand why you are going to sell what you've accumulated. You don't know what to do. You just heard that maybe if you have this, there is a lot of market. But do you know where that a lot of market is? You know there is plenty of market. If you go into rabbit farming, don't just say it is there. But actually, have you gone and found out that market is there before you start? So these are some of the fundamentals that most people find themselves doing these mistakes, and they end up blaming the government, they end up blaming the neighbors, they end up blaming God. But actually, when you failed to plan, right? So, as far as farming is concerned, you must define your farming goals. Then number 3, you must also understand that at times you will also need to start small and scale up step by step. What do I mean? Sometimes you avoid taking in too much at once. You are not yet an expert in goats farming, for example. Then you go and buy 300 goats. You've never been there, my friend. It is okay, I told you, to be ambitious, to always have that crazy faith, but at times you need also to scale up. Start small, then progressively increase. I always tell people that anything that starts from up, if it's not a toilet, it's always a grave. So start slowly, then progressively you continue on moving here and there and there and there. There are so many things that we are going to talk about as we move forward. This has been part 1. Let us catch up in part 2 of the same things on what you must put into consideration as you put up your farming. You must define it very well. Catch up with you soon. Thank you so very much for subscribing. I remain yours, Charles. See you in the next episode. God bless you.